Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at the Google Translate API. So we're going to split it into two parts, so to this video and another video. So today we're going to be looking at step 1 and step 4. In step 4 is basically exiting the program, and step 1 is basically like you display the list. So here we go. Okay, so over here you can see another program. At the top as usual is what we're going to do today, then the rules and lesson program. So today we'll be looking at the Google Translate API. So we're going to split this into two videos. So today we're going to be covering the first two steps of exit and displaying the list of languages. And in the next video we'll be looking at detecting and translating. And I'm basically using Rapid API, so the link is in the description below. So first thing I've done is I've imported request and JSON. Then I'm using try and accept. Then if I want to enter a list of languages, enter L. This applies for uppercase and lowercase. If I want to detect language from text, enter D. If I want to translate to user-specified language, enter T. And if I want to exit the program, enter E. Then while true, O is equal to input. So if I run this here, so I've not put anything in the input. So here I just put an L or, so if I put an L, it gives me the list of languages. And then if I enter E, it basically exits. So basically it breaks. So here I said while it's true, then if O dot upper, because even if I entered in lower cases, I'm going to make it upper. And then I'm saying capital E because it's going to be upper in any case. And then print entered 4. Entered 4, entered 1 is basically like debuggers to make sure it enters the correct one. So for example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So here I said entered 4. Then it says print by just to acknowledge that I'm exiting, and then I'm breaking. But if it's not, then it goes into the else, and sorry about that. So it goes into the else, and then it says, so then I'm saying if O dot upper is equal to L for the first step, then so here I'm using Rapid API. So first thing I've done is I'm using this URL. So you just need to log into Rapid API and then you need to subscribe for free. So here I've said URL is equal to this. So this is the URL I've gotten from there. Then this is the query string. So here basically I'm allowing it to, so if I just take this away and if I take this away and if I just run, then if I enter L, then as you can see it's throwing an error. So the query string, basically all it's doing is that it's making all of it like in full words. Like it's like saying, it's writing the languages full, like it's saying Hindi or it's saying English, like that. It's writing the entire name of the language rather than like AF or EN or so on. So basically it wants English so that it knows, because for example in English you call English English, in English you call it Swedish Swedish, but in Swedish you call it svenska and so on. So it's different in every language, which is why you need to use EN or SV or whatever. Then here I'm using headers. So here's basically my API key and this is what's hosting it. So then I'm saying res is equal to request.get. So I'm using the get method. Then URL, and then headers is equal to headers, and the parameter is equal to query string. So then data is equal to json.load. So here I'm basically, sorry about that. So just going to, yeah. So here I'm basically doing parsing. So basically I'm parsing using JSON, and here I've said data is equal to json.load res.text. So basically the original is, so before print language I'm just going to say print res dot text. Then when I run this and I say L, then it gives like this. So this is the original one, so data, then language, and we'll look at this in a second. But then here what I'm doing is that here what I've done is I'm loading. After that, I've said language is equal to empty list. Then basically what I'm doing is that for I in data, and then here I'm saying data. So if I run this again just to show you, then here I'm just going to say L and here. So basically when I say data, only data, then it goes from there on. So it's going to say language and then all of this. Then when I say data languages, so then data goes away, languages goes away, and then I'm left with here on. But then when I say, for example, language or name to just filter through and get just the name like this, then it throws an error because here I have language, and language is everywhere, and name is everywhere. It's being used numerous times, whereas data and languages is only being used once in this entire. So basically, because it's saying like data only once and languages only once, that's why it throws an error because language is being used multiple times in every one, and so is name. So what I'm doing is that for in-range data, languages, so it takes away the two obvious ones, and then language.append is I and a name. So basically I start with this one, so I name, so then it says Afrikaans, and then it adds it into the empty list. Then it goes here into the next one, it takes the name Akan, and then it puts it into the next after, because I'm using append, so it puts it in after Afrikaans. Then it goes to the next one, then here we have name, and then we have Albanian, and then it puts it after Akan, and then here, so on. So basically it keeps appending each language until when I go here, for example, so when I go to the very end, then it doesn't find any more, so then it just stops because the for loop then breaks. So after it breaks, then it just prints. That's why I've kept it outside, because if I keep these inside, so like this, if I keep it like this, then if I run it, so if I say L, then you see it gives it like, so from the very beginning, so it starts with Afrikaans, then it gives Afrikaans Akan, and then it gives this, and this, then it gives this, and this, and it keeps going on and on. But to get it just in one go, that's why I'm keeping it outside the loop, like this.